Welcome back. We're with TJ from Utah Radon Services. I'm excited to have him back. If you guys want to go back and look at one of the other videos that we did with him, we talked a little bit about how to take a test and what it is to take a test. So go look at that. The description will have a link so you can go see that, and also how to contact you guys. But while we're here, tell me a little bit about the dangers. I know, why would you go to all the trouble and all that time to dig out clay, put in mitigation systems? Like why? Why is that even important?
Yeah, great question. So radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in people who don't smoke. So people who do smoke or have smoked, the risk factor is even higher, much higher for lung cancer. But radon can cause lung cancer even in people who have never smoked before. The EPA estimates that about 21,000 Americans every year are dying of lung cancer that was caused by radon gas exposure. And so it's very important to obviously be aware of what we're being exposed to in our own homes. In fact, one of the interesting things about Utah, Dr. Wallace Akerley, he's one of the or the head oncologist at the Huntsman Cancer Institute here locally. He has some good videos out there that educate people about radon. One of the interesting things that he explains is that lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death here in Utah. So there's no other cancer, not breast cancer, not whatever other there is, no other cancer is killing more Utahns per year than lung cancer. And the fascinating and sad thing about that is that Utah has the lowest smoking rate in the entire United States, or the second lowest, one of those, yet lung cancer is still our top cause of cancer death. And we wonder why or how. Radon, you know, Utah is a state where it's got a real radon problem. Anywhere from a third to half of homes in certain areas are going to be testing elevated for radon, and so that's something that we should all be aware of. Looking at this chart here, just to make some equivalence, to put some perspective into people's minds, radon levels of 2 picocuries per liter, that's how radon is measured in picocuries per liter of air. So if our home is measuring at 2, the EPA or the research shows that it's about equivalent to smoking 4 cigarettes every day in terms of its risk of getting lung cancer. And that's not a scary number.
No.
Number 2 does not sound scary, but the EPA says starting at 2, we should already be considering mitigation in our homes, especially if we're spending a lot of time in the lower level of the home. If we've got a basement, for example, where our kids are sleeping, where our office is, where we're exercising, where we're hanging out all weekend with sleepovers and watching movies, starting at 2, we should really be considering mitigation, and we should mitigate if we're spending a lot of time in our home. In the lower level specifically.
Well, and that's, I wouldn't allow my children, you know, to smoke 4 cigarettes a day. But yet I could be there in the basement, like you say, playing video games. I'm in the office every day in the basement. So definitely something to be thinking about.
Exactly. And 2 is just where they're saying we should start being concerned about that and really consider taking action. With a radon level of 4, they say this is the action level. If people are seeing radon levels of 4.0 or higher, it's already at a point where we need to take action and mitigate. And that's where a lot of people drop the ball. They think, oh, my house was at 4.1. It's barely over 4, which is the acceptable level. 4 is not acceptable. We want radon as low as possible in our homes, and so starting 4.0 or higher, it's equivalent to smoking 8 cigarettes every day in terms of our risk of getting lung cancer. And they also equate that to about 200 chest x-rays worth of radiation per year if we're sitting in homes that have 4 picocuries of radon.
Which is interesting too, because we go to the dentist twice a year. We get our x-rays once a year, but we're covered in our protection. The dental technician is around the corner and, you know, hiding from that radiation. But yet I could be exposing myself to much greater levels if I'm not aware of how much radiation is in my own home.
Exactly. Radiation is a real thing. Radiation can cause mutation of DNA in cells, which can lead to, you know, that's kind of the definition of cancer, is the replication of mutated cells. And so when we're dealing with radioactive substances or gases like radon, and we're continuing to breathe in high levels of radiation, that's what can lead to a development of lung cancer. And we look here, you know, 10 picocuries is equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes every day. There are homes in Utah that are 20 and 30. So the occupants of those homes basically are smoking a few packs of cigarettes every day in terms of the risk of developing lung cancer from that exposure. So,
that's wild. That kind of blows my mind. Tell me, what's the highest you've ever seen?
Good question. We as a company have measured a home in the valley, like I won't say where necessarily, but between Ogden and Payson, so, you know, in that range, that was 155 picocuries per liter. And in Utah, there have been homes that have tested in the multiple hundreds, and nationally, there have been homes that have gone up well above that as well. So it can get very, very high. And that's important to understand, not to make us feel better, not to make us think, oh, mine's only 4. Another house was at 40. I'm okay. No, there's risk with any exposure, and that's something to be aware of. The other thing that helps us understand is if we've done a test and it came back at a really high level, oftentimes people doubt the validity of the test. No, it won't get that high. It can very well get that high. So people should take serious the radon levels that are being reflected by a radon test that has been conducted.
Okay. And I guess the other thing is, if they don't believe it, hurry quick, get another test, get a second opinion. Yeah.
And that's the important thing to realize with radon testing. You can test as many times as you want, you know, through different parties, through different types of testing kits. But the bottom line is, as long as a test is conducted properly and according to the manufacturer's instructions for the test, really you can rely that that's going to be an accurate reflection of the radon level in the home during that given period of time. And so, again, if they're doing another test, if they're doing a second test, do it promptly. If the first one is coming back really high, take action promptly. Test again with another short-term test fairly quickly, because once that's been confirmed, we want to get the ball rolling on mitigating that home so that the occupants can stop being exposed to that high radon.
Because every day is 8 more cigarettes. 8 more cigarettes.
Yeah.
So,
and one other common maybe excuse that I hear, oh, I've been in my home for 20 years and I've been exposed to radon for this long. The damage is done, you know. No, it's done. What's done is done. I don't need to do anything about it anymore. That's like saying, you know, we put our hand on the stove, it's burned through the first and second layers of flesh, and we can't feel the pain anymore because the nerves are burnt. It's still probably worth it to take our hand off the stove, to quit exposing our hand to that heat. And it's the same with radon. Even if we've had 5, 10, 20, 30 years of exposure to high levels, it would be well worth it for our own health concerns to minimize the exposure starting now, because that is going to be helpful in trying to mitigate the risk moving forward of developing lung cancer.
Very good. Yes. Why, yeah. Take the measures that you need to. It's never too late to start.
Yes, very much
good.
so.
Okay, well, I do have a question. I'm curious to know, how did you get into the radon business?
Yeah, great question. I studied microbiology was my major in college when I was studying, and so I've got kind of that science background, a bit of a geek when it comes to certain things like that. And then in addition to that, during college I started doing sales, door-to-door sales actually during the summertime. And so I've got that science and sales kind of background that meshed together. And so when the opportunity arose to come work with Utah Radon Services as the director of sales, that was a good mesh of the things that I enjoy, the sales and communication and teaching aspect of things, as well as the science background, understanding radon, why it's dangerous, how is it getting into homes, how can we fix it. It was a nice blend of the things that I have done in my life.
Well, very good. As you guys can tell, TJ knows his stuff. So we appreciate him being here and taking the time to talk to us. Make sure you check out the description, free kits. You can go back to our other video and we've talked all about and explained how that testing process works.
Yes.
So make sure you check that out. You guys have made it super simple, super easy, all through the mail. It's a phone call. The test itself was very simple. So make sure you check that out. Check these guys out in the description below. Are there any parting words that you'd like to give us before we go?
No, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching the video. And again, just take action with radon. Test your home. Even if you've tested before, it's good to test periodically. Radon levels will fluctuate and change. So if you've never tested your home, take action to test now. If you have tested your home, but it's been a while, test again, because again, the peace of mind of knowing what we're being exposed to in our own homes is well worth the couple minutes of effort that it takes to do a radon test.
Yeah, definitely. I've learned that. It's been an eye-opener to me, so I appreciate sharing this information because I'm learning with you guys, as you know. So thank you.
Thank you.